Pure fuel can't melt the steel beams.
The challenge facing the United States is that we have to be right one time. I mean, 100% of the time.
In Dallas, Texas, 3 shots were fired at President Kennedy's.
This shit's bad for my career.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
The lunar landings were more than likely fabricated.
Michael Jackson, he moonwalked. NASA detonate. The moon doesn't even exist.
Oh my god, that's the best thing I've ever heard in my life. I'm not gonna lie, you threw a curveball at me.
The Illuminati, this is their main form of communication. They meet at the cloning station.
Reptilian, non-human race.
That's nonsense. Down to ever we go.
Aliens.
R. Kelly nuked Paul Walker's car.
I can't believe the Philippines would do anything dodgy.
I mean, we've got to look at the facts here.
I doubt we will.
It's hard for me to explain why that was the case. Just take my word for it.
Jesus fucking Christ, Gills.
Hello, boys. I'm back.
It's beautiful. He's back. I'm sitting in front of him.
Well, beside me.
He's
really.
escaped a hostage situation that we've created to the episodes he's not listened to.
Oh yeah, what was the? I'm Ben. I've not been here for a while.
A long time.
You've been spinning a yarn about my absence. Can you fill me in a bit?
So we started off with Ben couldn't make it today because he woke up in another city.
But that's exactly what he told us.
Yeah, so it started.
That's what I thought at the time.
They started off with a thread of truth. Then the second episode was Ben is with us, as in he's in the same area, but he just can't make it. I think it went to like Ben's been abducted, but he is working his way back. And then
Fighting tooth and nail.
We went to is that Ben is miles away, and you will be here soon. Leading into a way that'll be like, oh, you listen to the next one? It's just a couple hours later. And that is where it's kind of gone.
I'm sure some kind of satanic cloning came in somewhere.
There was some satanic cloning. There was some. I think we made a joke. We tried to replace you for one episode with Petrie. So it's like how do we replace a handsome man with auburn hair? Let's get the Down syndrome version.
Oh, Petrie.
And then he rejected it, but he wasn't coming because like his missus had to go to work. He was like, I could got the whole day to myself to play games. He's like, fuck it, I'm not coming with you now.
I know, he just totally sacked us off.
He totally sacked it, and so he just fucking went off. So we just went off against him. Said his full name, said the kind of general area where he lives.
I'm glad that in all of that I don't think, outright attacked in the same way for my absence.
No.
Good.
No.
Good. Truth of the matter is, though, when I woke up and I was in another city, I was actually in the same city. I was just very drunk.
Yeah, what was the crack again? The boy told you were in Stirling.
I woke up and some boy was like fucking being a pure wido. He was just like, I was like, oh fuck, where am I? He was like, man, you're in Stirling. We got a taxi through last night. Hey, do you not remember? I was like, oh fuck, I'm supposed to be in Perth. I'm supposed to be doing this thing. Oh shit. So like, text you like it was like 5 o'clock in the morning. Be like, boys, I fucked up. I'm not gonna make it. And then, like, an hour later, like starting about this flat, I looked out the window. I was like, oh, that's Perth Mill Street.
That's not Stirling.
What the fuck?
Right next to that taxi rank.
Yeah. I was like, by this point, I'd already started drinking again. So I was like, well,
The damage done.
damage done.
Oh well, you're here. I'm glad to have you. We're glad to have you back, Ben.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to see you.
I'm just absolutely buzzing to hit all these wrong buttons and trigger the wrong sounds all over the shop, like a bit of a hard R.
Sound.
And
You never go full hard R.
this is episode 11
Is it?
of Jet Fuel Can't Melt Steel Beams.
Maybe 10.
This is episode 10.
No, you're right. It is 11, but we're just
It's the 11th recording. How
pretending-
many of the originals actually get released?
Well,
Oh, we dropped like 2 of them.
we're pretending number 1 didn't happen.
Yeah.
What number one?
Still got it. We'll sell it.
Ah, well. Oh, well.
To watch three people try and do what Gervais had done and found out James is not pilking.
A long time ago.
Just attacking you for no reason.
I know, it wasn't a fun one.
It didn't really work out too well. At least today we've got the we've got the Wayne and Ashley downstairs.
Yeah.
Just in case you hear any screaming kiddie noises.
Luckily for Ashley, she gets to sit and listen to our drivel.
Yeah.
That's if you do hear any children's crying, it's just a soundboard. Just ignore it.
It's supposed to be there.
We're not recording live from Joseph Fritzl's lair. Oh fuck! Maybe you shouldn't have said that.
I told myself I was going to try and not swear so much this time because having listened back to a few of the other ones, I realised I fill in a lot of space just with swear words.
Yeah,
and I think I've sworn about 10 times already.
Yeah,
that's what swear words are for.
Well, it just happens though because it's not. It's rarely not on that normal of a conversation between us. It's not really chats about, oh, did you have a nice walk or a good weekend? It starts off normal and then gets dark quite fast.
Pretty.
Yeah, or it goes off to something obscure. It doesn't necessarily have to be dark.
Yeah. I used to swearing for no reason. I'm like, this is thing.
Yeah. It's like most people would have like that nanosecond to think about what they're going to say, but we just fill that space with, I can't.
Okay, so I feel like a bit of a redneck in a barber shop today. Like
A what?
Yeah, what's that expression?
A redneck in a barber shop. No.
No, did you just make that up?
No. Do you know when you
I
leave?
feel a bit like a splinter in an ass bath of Bacardi Breezer.
Never heard redneck in a barber
I
shop.
feel like a pair locked in a kennel. Don't know why I copied the same accent as you.
Ah well.
Mimic.
You know when you leave the shotgun in the pickup and go to the barber's to tidy up your mullet. It's busy and you have to wait. There's magazines, but you can't fucking read. So you spit on everyone and leave. That's where that comes from.
That's nice.
So, what, are you about to spit on us and walk out the door of your own house?
Well, thankfully your PC monitors are going to catch most of the flame.
I didn't plan that one out too well.
You look like you've invited us round to watch you play Flight Simulator.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
You're sitting at a desk with two monitors obscuring you completely from vision. And both of us are just sitting here looking at the back of these monitors.
I didn't think it through overly well. But hey, enjoy the monitors.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. It's like Charlie's Angels, and you're Charlie.
Thanks, Rob.
Do you know, how he just obscures himself in every episode, so you don't see him? Or like the neighbour from Home Improvement, like Wilson.
Wait, if this is Charlie's Angels, can I be?
Is there a fat one in Charlie's Angels? Because I'll be that.
So can I be Bill Murray?
Well, he's Charlie.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he? Oh.
Yeah.
Also, I'm definitely not as charismatic enough to pull off Bill Murray, so I'll go with Cameron Diaz.
I'll go with Lucy Liu. I like Chinese food.
Okay.
Is she Chinese? Is she Chinese?
Oh, we're going to get into difficult territory here, and I promised I wouldn't speak about the Japanese, so
It's a completely different race. Yeah. Not race, country.
Right. On that note, it's probably time for some
news.
Some weird news, Rob. I've got a wee pad to play.
Hit it, baby.
Play that same song.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, it's not working.
After all your tests.
We'll yeah.
That's heartbreaking.
We sing it like, it's the news. It's the news. Weird news.
I love it. Cool.
We're kind of working for the second half.
Okay.
That's it.
Love that. I got 4 different intros there. Just to make sure this is the news segment. This is following from last week's episode, depending on how we release them.
The last time you got together to speak shite.
Yeah, the thing with local news in the UK, I'm not going with Floridian stuff. I'm keeping it very much UK based. I even have one from the Courier.
Perth Courier.
Dundee Courier. But it kind of covers Perth as well, yeah.
Cool. That's how knowledgeable I am about local news.
So am I. But if they do things like this, I'm going to have to read it more. That's it.
Just like as a bit of like, just before you launch into it, the only times I read the Courier is when like, you know, the Google like gives you like news articles related to you, and it'll bring up Courier stories because it's local, and they're all spelt horrendously wrong. Like, I'm missing so much punctuation.
Yeah, I'll only ever really read the Courier when it's like, I wonder what school friend is now in prison and what they've done. You know what I mean? I was like, oh man. Thought it was a good one. But anyway, the thing I said like last week with news is that sometimes you get all the information you need from the headline and you don't need to read anymore. Like, I feel like I've learned something from this headline. I don't need to read the rest of the story. So I'm going to continue on with that with this week. So I'm going to hit you with a headline, and yeah, you've learnt your story. And I also have a picture for like 1 or 2 of them, so that's the worst thing for a podcast.
for the audio format.
So now so you just have to use your imagination. Fucktards.
Just insulting the 2 listeners.
Yeah, there's my mum gone. But no, the first...
It's very descriptive with it.
First one's coming from Hull Live. And this is Gran left to sit on chair for weeks as new sofa still hasn't arrived. So she's been left to sit on a chair for weeks as a new sofa still hasn't arrived. That's the headline. And it's Gillian Griffin says she's never been so angry because of the delay. But thankfully, Hull Live have provided us with a picture of Gillian sitting on a chair.
Thanks, Gillian.
Sitting in a chair. So if you want to know, this is a woman maybe probably say in her 70s.
Yeah, sort of.
And she's sitting on, I don't know how to describe it. It looks like more like a table. Like
it looks like a bedside table.
Yeah, bedside table kind of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's just sitting it into like a really lovely living room. Just with a big large space where a sofa should go.
She looks very despondent. That is a massive radiator though.
Yeah, she's definitely going to have like a large outstanding balance.
She's definitely in fuel poverty with that.
Yeah, she better be getting the one from discount. But yeah, that was it. That's from Hull Daily Mail. And again, I'll read out the headline. It is Gran left to sit on chair for weeks as new sofa hasn't still arrived.
I mean, like most people have like more than one chair in their living room.
Yeah.
I mean, also she's still got a chair. I mean, she's not standing. Mm-hmm. She doesn't have to lounge on the table to watch TV. Like,
if you look at that picture as well, I'll show you the picture again. She looks like she's got good posture.
Exactly.
Do you not think so, James?
That's outstanding posture.
I think if anything, a sofa would degrade her posture because she'd be slouching even more.
She's old. That's the thing as well, and it's like I think that's
how long does it say she's been left? For months,
weeks. But the way they say it as well, and the way from the picture,
for a walk.
It looks like she's never left the chair. Like she's been left to sit on a chair for weeks. Like she's just fucking pissed and shit there. You know what I mean? But I hope she gets the sofa. I hope she gets a bit of comfort. But I think this chair might be keeping her alive. Good posture, keeping her healthy. Because I look at her and I think, fucking a cold snap could take her out.
I don't know. She looks pretty sturdy.
She's like a. This is going to obscure any fans, but. Have you ever watched Dirty Sanchez?
Yes.
She looks like Pancho dressed as an old woman. Do you think so? Yes. She's a little tyke. She is.
Little tatty.
But that's my first headline. So I've got 7 more pieces of news. They're all going to be short pieces until we get into our whole story. But this comes from a local newspaper to us. This is the Courier.
I can see the headline from here.
And it's Baptist rockets killed Dundee cow. Baptist rockets kills killed Dundee cow.
See, like, right, so considering, like, local slang, is that just, like, a couple of mentalists who happen to be Baptists? Or is it actual, like, projectiles?
I like the idea is like boys are rockets.
See these Baptists, they're fucking rockets, like.
I think what's happened here is that they have accidentally killed a cow.
Fireworks.
With fireworks. I think they've given it a heart attack.
That's exactly what you want.
And this Baptist, obviously, he's going to feel terrible. He's going to feel gilly.
Killed one of God's creatures.
Are they Catholics? Baptists? Are they Catholics?
Christian of some variety.
Yeah, I don't know. So does he get to go in a little box to repent? Forgive me forever, for I have sinned. What have you done, John? Killed a cow with a sparkler.
Lobbed the Catherine wheel at some cow.
Yeah. Roman candle, like fucking Harry Potter shot it. Wingardium Leviosa. So this is a Baptist rocket, and it's a shame. I feel bad for this guy. Yeah, he's killed a cow. I think it must have had a heart disease. I'd like to think like he shot like one of those, like, do you know the big ones that say like TNT explosive? But it's like
no propped it up, aiming straight at.
Well, cows sleep standing up. Some cows sleep standing up. So all you have to do is just like go in quietly, put the box underneath it where it's standing, light it, saunter away quickly, and then just boom.
You've put a lot of thought into that.
A lot of thought into that, Rob, yeah.
I've just never killed one. I've badly burned one.
Can't afford the absolutely moist fireworks.
No.
Also, like, UK is pretty shite for fireworks. You can't get them.
Yeah, and we can only get them at one time of the year for a certain period of time. Most other countries.
You get them in New Year as well.
Yeah,
2 times a year.
2 times.
A lot of places not selling them now, taking a stand.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for health and safety reasons.
Fuck off.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's just doing their bit, saving the doggies. And
I mean, I've fired a rocket out of a bottle of Buckfast on the top of a hill, and I've still got all my fingers.
It's people like you.
No, it's people that are smart, dumb enough to lose their fingers doing that. I wore gloves. I'm not a fucking idiot.
Yeah. What we used to do is we used to go down to like the big park, and
go to the wee park. There's less people.
we were fucking 18 at the time, so we could have just gone to a pub and met women. But no, we spent our drink money on fireworks. And we went down to the Inch with like a crate of beer, and then what we do is we'd light fireworks and we'd do it normally. When we got bored of that one, that's not that much fun. So we just light fireworks and then throw them on the ground and run and see where it gets shit. That was it.
We used to go, well, we did it once. The same time I shot at a Buckfast ball. Like, the rockets, we were like, oh, we'll go on top of Canoe Hill and set off these like rockets. It'll be docile, like, everyone in town will see it. It's like, eep. It's the fucking worst fireworks ever. So we just started lighting them and lobbing them off the cliff. Like, oh, where's that one?
Yeah, it's the best bit. But yeah, that's that story there for you. Like I say, you can learn a lot from a headline.
Yeah, educational.
The next one is from Devon Live, and the issue is its headline is "Seagulls are getting drunk on leftover booze and thrown up on firefighters."
Wow, there's so much in that.
Yeah, it's a big headline, but I feel it's a story that you need to report more on.
I was going to say, I feel that story, like, that headline requires some unpacking.
Yeah. I would say so.
Are they deliberately targeting the firefighters? Are they drinking the booze on purpose? I mean, is there an epidemic of, like, alcoholic seagulls? Are they getting the DTs if there hasn't been a heavy weekend? Like, what's...
Well, I feel there may be an issue with my logic of you get a lot from a headline, because I've not got the rest. But the thing is, what we see from this is that what the fires are saying is that one was so drunk it fell off a roof and could not fly straight before throwing up over them. You know what I mean? Seagulls are dickheads. I don't know if it's just maybe Perth, but I know every other country I go to, seagulls are the worst animals ever.
I went to...
And I would rank mosquitoes higher than seagulls, and mosquitoes have taken out like a third of Africa.
Was it like Conway Beach in North Wales? Like the seagulls, like
Welsh seagull.
Fucking worse.
Decades.
Only as a seagull, it's a fucking Welsh seagull.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Just an aside. People from Wales are lovely, but you could be the most intelligent person in the world and you sound like a moron. Nothing against the Welsh, just your accent.
So everything then.
No, but North Wales is fine because they sound like they're from Liverpool.
That's not fine.
They sound like they're going to steal your car then.
Comey Beach is like an ice cream. Like you get ice cream, obviously, it's a beach. But the seagulls, like, they will dive bomb you one way, so you feint to go the other way, drop your ice cream, and then one will come in behind you and scoop up the ice cream. They're dickheads.
I know. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm happy. Like, I'm annoyed that this one drunk and fell off the roof and still flew away.
And still alive.
Yeah. It's like, I hate them. But yeah, see, they're just getting too drunk now. They're getting too lady. They're getting too confident.
Too lady.
And they're taking it too far. Because I go to Glasgow a lot and I see a lot of bands at the Barrowlands. And that's the worst seagulls you can get.
Jakey seagulls.
Yeah, but
Beachy
it's not just that. It's like it's these seagulls who are one step away from wearing Stone Island gear. Like, they swag on the street, they swag on the pavement, and you have to walk off the pavement because they will not get your way. That's their road.
Just get a cunt punt.
Give the seagull a cunt punt.
Penalty kick.
Then they're breaking my toe on it though. They're solid.
I know.
And they're massive. They eat all like the local takeaway food. So they're not normal sized seagulls. They're just like
Overgrown mutants.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Smell
I
like
feel
kebab
it.
meat. They're out of order.
Out of order.
And I feel like I just had to bring them this story. It's not that entertaining. It's just I think seagulls are dickheads, and it's proven now. Do you know what I mean? And then also the size of this headline as well. Seagulls are getting drunk on leftover booze and thrown up in firefighters. That's how much of a dickhead they are. Look how big that headline is.
I love that, obviously, like...
See when 9/11 happened?
Like, the intent of that headline isn't... It's saying that the bad thing is left behind booze and firefighters not being able to do their jobs. You picked out one word in that, which was seagulls, and you're like, I fucking hate seagulls.
Yeah. Rob's had his fucking food stolen far too many times.
You don't want to unpack anything else in that.
Because they're dickheads, right? They're abusive. This is how much of a headline.
Steamers.
They've got like 20 words in a headline. When 9/11 happened, he just said 2 towers downed. This is somebody proving a point here. Right, I'm getting upset. Next story.
This is like your fucking toy car rat story you had.
Right, we're going to go to lighter news about parental abuse. Okay.
That's light.
So
No molesting.
this is done by the Dundee Evening Telegraph. So it's a local news story again, and this is a man battered his mum with banana at Dundee home.
Snorted.
So I don't know what happened. I'm not going to rest the story. I just felt like that was a headline that attracted me. I was like, okay, I've learned something. People in Dundee are attacking their parents with bananas.
I mean, how much damage can you do with a banana?
Depends if it's frozen or not.
Depends what life is.
Just fucking put it in a sock. Start battering folk with it.
So I don't know what's happened here. We haven't been given a name of the person who...
It's man, so guessing someone who is... Like, it's not like a teenager fucking throwing a tantrum.
No, it'd be somebody over the age of...
I say in the 30s.
25, yeah.
Yeah.
And, so yeah, he battered his mum with a banana. And, well, I hope she's learnt her lesson. No, not at all.
She's still playing with all the bananas.
No, it's a weird one. It's a weird one. You always heard about that story about people getting beat up with phone books.
Do you?
Do you?
Yeah. Did you never hear this?
That classic Christmas tale.
I used to get told about it, like you beat somebody up with a phone book.
Oh, it doesn't leave bruises or
It
something.
doesn't leave bruises, yeah.
I'm pretty sure if you hit someone with a lot of force and not blunt, but a solid object, you're going to leave a mark.
Yeah.
It's like soap in a sock. Like, hit someone hard over.
Do you think she was left with an outline of a banana?
Well, but like, you can't get a lot of like force. I mean, if you're gonna hit someone with a banana, like, there's only about like fucking 5 inches, if that, out from what's already in your hand.
Yeah.
You might as well just punch them.
Yeah.
Like, you're not getting any more force behind a swing of a banana than you are with the swing of a fist.
Yeah, and you think it would splat.
I don't know, like, I mean, obviously don't punch your mum.
No.
Don't.
I mean,
Don't buy your mum a banana.
I mean, if you do have to assault your mother...
Use a coconut, it's much harder.
Oh, well, I was going to say preferably a banana because you're going to do less damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but,
soft
I mean,
banana.
if it's life or death, life or death, probably pick something, I don't know, like a coconut.
Yeah.
Or a brick.
What fruit is worse
What's the worst fruit?
as a weapon?
Kumquat.
Like grapes. I don't think you can do much damage with a grape, even with a slingshot. Yeah, I mean, unless you froze the grapes. Like these fruits get a lot more dangerous when you freeze them.
Everything gets more dangerous when you freeze it.
I don't know. A soldier. If you freeze him, he's not going to stab you. But anyway, so he battered his mum with a banana, and yeah, it's sad. Sad to read these things. It would be funny though, is like for the next Christmas to get like a banana guard. You know what I mean?
Like one of those like lunch boxes for bananas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know you have got like the sheaves for knives. You got to have like essentially a banana sheaf. It's like, watch. Look, there's the keys. He's not going to get you this time. So hopefully she made a quick recovery.
How sympathetic of you, Rob.
Yeah, well, I care about her.
That's why you're sharing her story.
Yeah. And the next one now are all just little bits that kind of fill out newspapers. And so this one is, so it reads, this is in Leeds, by the way. The Learning Centre on Hanson Street reports a man across the way stands at his window for hours watching the centre, making parents nervous. Okay?
Is that it?
Yeah, but just wait. So obviously there's an issue. Man staring at a window.
At a learning centre, yeah.
Yeah, and it's making people nervous.
Yeah.
And so people phoned the police. Police have ID'd the subject as a cardboard cutout of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
A load of Mongos.
They are a bunch of hard ass.
Yeah. Hard R. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that news story turned out much better.
If he was unmoving and in the same position for hours a day, maybe he's not alive or a person.
Yeah.
What a creepy cardboard cutout.
I just wish it was like the cutout of like DeVito instead, though. It's so much better.
They cut out DeVito as if like those really popular cutouts they did of Arnie and DeVito from the movie Twins.
You could do both of them. But yeah, that's just a thing. I was like, maybe get closer to the subject before you call the police.
Also, why is that newsworthy?
Oh, wait, we're just getting started, mate. But these are things. This is the gold that is found in newspapers.
In local newspapers, because they need to fill up the paperwork, so they put these things. So, like I told you a story about in the Caerphilly news where this was in the news filled in was because a teenager had stolen a police radio, and so when anything was getting called over, he'd use the police radio and go, "Ooh, matron," and so he kept doing that until he was caught. But they fill the news up with this, and there's gold in there, and like these people who are eccentric. We deal with a lot of eccentric people in our line of work. Yep.
Yes. And trust me, they're going to be in here somewhere because they are there.
So, I mean, if that was me, I'd dig deeper into the cardboard cutout though, because if you look properly, you can see that behind the cardboard cutout you have Rolf Harris.
Oh, that was a turn. That was a turn.
I wasn't sure where you were going there.
I wasn't sure either.
Is he not in prison?
Yes. So maybe I think he got out. He's hiding behind cutouts now.
I don't think he went to prison.
Did he not?
No.
Ruffle Harris.
Ruffle Harris. That's what I really fucking loved him when he did that. You seen that video?
Yeah. Do you remember what was it?
That's ethnic music. It's like right, Ren Rolf.
Was it that animal protection show we used to do?
Yeah.
What was that? That was filmed like a couple of miles from where I used to live. Yeah.
And then you found out how much of a bastard he was.
Then I'm like, now I realise why there's large portions of that period of my life that I repressed and I can't remember at all.
Excellent.
You start crying every time you hear a didgeridoo.
Just walk up the stairs.
Can you tell what it is you'd been?
No.
It's an anaconda.
I don't want to see the anaconda.
Right. I've got 3 more news stories for you. I'll keep going.
Rapid fire.
Rapid fire. So this is another headline. This looks like this was in like the Sun. Credible newspaper. And it is an escaped budgie found repeatedly asking, "Where's Dave?" Has been reunited with its owner called John. The pet, which also spoke like Darth Vader, is now back in his pet in Cheltenham.
Happy ending.
Happy ending.
That's a bit of brighter news.
I love it. It's like, "Where's Dave?" has been reunited with his owner called John.
Maybe John had another budgie called Dave that he lost.
Yeah.
Also lost.
He spoke to Dave like Darth Vader.
Cool.
It's here we go. This is in Watford. This one caught me. This is from Watford Live, and it's a good one. I think it's Watford justice prevailed. Harry Brenton, the hateful octogenarian, 80-year-old man, who patiently filled chocolate eggs with dog feces before planting them in the village green where the Easter egg hunt was meant to take place, has been jailed for 40 days.
What a sound guy.
That is like just the epitome of like, you get to a point in your life where you just go, fuck it.
So I hate these fucking kids.
I've got nothing to do with my day. The kids are annoying as fuck.
They're tramping my garden.
They're jumping my garden. Garden runs chappy. Fucking
Yeah.
Let shit in their chocolate.
yeah, but the amount of patience it would have taken
Filling.
to take open it along the seam, scoop out the fondant. and then melt the seam back together.
It's a good effort. Is this the same guy that had an army of turtles?
No. Harry's a bit older. Harry Brenton. I love it. It just goes, "Harry Brenton, the hateful octogenarian."
You can tell that's like some not even staff writer, just like a PA in the local paper. It's just like trying to use it up a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, 80-year-old man fills eggs with shit. No, Harry Brenton, the hateful octogenarian. I will get my break through this.
Yeah. I really like to think as well that he just didn't have a dog. So he just wandered the street for dog shit.
just followed people with dogs, waiting for their dogs to do a shit. Be like, you done with that?
He's found rare pieces of white dog shit, things you don't see nowadays. I haven't seen a white dog shit for donkeys.
Moving on.
Harry Brennan. And this one's actually fairly new. So it's mum calls the police after Domino's failed to deliver pizza.
It's called the police.
She called the police, yeah. So she ordered £37 worth of pizza and said she was left with no money to feed her children. That's because you spent £37 on pizza, you fucking numpty.
Yes, it's not thought about that at
Do you
all.
realize for that same amount of money, you could buy
A week's worth of food.
you could buy enough food to make relatively healthy meals for your children.
Yeah.
This is why sometimes in my line of work, I have little sympathy because sometimes don't buy Domino's for dinner. Mm-hmm. Spend half the money on the ingredients to make a healthy meal and also have more money to pay for stuff that is essential.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's a shame. It's just she didn't get her pizzas, and so obviously she's called the police. And
please tell me there is the police response is in that. You've
Yeah,
saved it.
hopefully someone just called her a shit mum.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just called Child Protective Service.
I did read more into that. There's been cases where I've ordered a takeaway and it's maybe arrived like an hour late. And I'm not going to lie, a minute after that delivery time it's meant to be there.
You're getting angry.
Yeah, like I understand it's busy, but the thing is, it starts off with it creeps in with doubt. You go, that's okay. Do you mean it's a busy night? It's a Saturday. It's going to come. Half an hour in, and goes, well, do you mean it's busy? It's fine. Right.
Where's my goat curry?
And then about 45 minutes in, it's like they fucking forgot. They've taken my money. They forgot. No, I'm hungry. I've got like my shelves are filled with food.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do I have to call him? Do I have to call him? And I wait. And this whole thing, and I'm sitting there like in my bed, I'm just lying there, just like
Sweating.
yeah. I was like, I can't believe this. I can't believe this.
It's the worst thing that's ever happened.
And then the doorbell rings. I'm like, and I'm running, and this like guy's like, sorry mate, sorry, it's been busy. We put an extra tin of iron brew in there. I was like, it's okay, friend.
Told you about.
As long as I didn't have to make a ham sandwich.
I actually went on Just Eat yesterday. Because I was like, I wanted to order from a certain place that specialises in predominantly sweet treats.
Oh, okay.
But the last time I'd ordered from
Wait. Before we attack James, are they a sponsor this week?
No.
Nope, cool,
No,
carry
okay,
on.
so the last time I ordered from them, I was at a previous address and I thought it was a previous Just Eat account, so I thought I was safe. But the last time, I was still very drunk from the night before, and I ordered it before the opening time, expecting it like 20 minutes after they open. I'm gonna get all this. I ordered a hot dog, ordered ice cream. I ordered fucking rakes of like really good, well, not good food, but like hangover munch. And it was an hour after they opened, and I phoned them, and then I phoned them again, and then I phoned them again, and then my food finally arrived, and the guy looked at me like I was an absolute cunt, because I probably was being an absolute cunt, and then the food was really shit, and then there was onions on my hot dog, and I fucking hate onions, so I threw it across the room.
Such a reasonable attitude.
And then I put a scathing review on their Just Eat page,
did you?
and then like still steaming. And then 20 minutes later, I get a response being like, just listing all the reasons why I was wrong.
That's brilliant customer service.
And I was like, oh, fuck. So, like, went to order yesterday thinking, oh, I've changed my Just Eat account. No, I've not. So, like, went to click on it. It's like, oh, 1-star review. Maybe they aren't that good. Your review, 1 star.
You're the solitary 1-star review. Oh wow! Well, I know the place is the place we're talking about in town.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's not that great.
It's
Anyway.
not anyway.
Nah.
But I
Do you know that
I wanted cake. I live next to Tesco, but I wanted cake delivered to me.
Yeah, that's the only reason I've ordered for it, and I've ordered it, and that's just when I'm hungover to get Tango Ice Blast. And I've ordered 4 Tango Ice Blasts. I've spent like £20 on 4 Tango Ice Blasts. And I remember the guy came to the door. He was like, "Oh mate, you're having a party, eh? The kids will love this." And I was like, "I've not got kids. It's for me." I just walked away and closed the door. And I forgot I've actually got 2 little headlines here as well, so I'm going to hit them with you.
Okay.
And then we can move on. And we'll start with this is from East Anglian Daily Times. Headline: Daylight Shrubbery. Hedges stolen.
That's fantastic journalism.
Quick rapid fire. What's the next one?
Next one. Women drinking wine from Pringles can banned from Walmart.
Excellent.
That's genius.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just getting the last bit of crumbs.
You need the things, if you're going to do that, you need to choose the Pringle that's got like the least flavour, because it contaminates the whole box. You want to go for a salted.
But what if you're combining like horrible boxed white wine
with sour cream and chive?
You maybe want a really flavourful Pringle.
Maybe like a sweet chili. Sweet chili might go for.
Take the bite off the wine.
Yeah, to take the tannin off the wine. But I hope you like that. That is my news.
Thanks very much, Rob.
The one you missed last week. Well, was I had all my news pieces, but I'd accidentally forgotten I was actually reading normal news as well. So I was just going through because I had like 20 pieces of news, and I read out the headline for the. Do you know the human trafficking? The 48 deaths that happened recently.
Oh, yeah.
I read out that headline. Yeah, I read that out. I went halfway through and went, oh nope, that's not funny. Yeah, a little decoy real story in there.
You filtered it.
Now we're
It's
still
fine.
finding humour from those 48 deaths.
I know.
Just had to throw that in.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Sorry.
Okay, well, thank you for that, Rob. Thanks for keeping us
You're welcome.
entertained with your weird news. It's always it's always tradition to do the random shitty fun fact. We're about half an hour into the episode, so I'll fucking just rapid fire through these, and then we'll get started. So,
Started. I was like, yeah, this is going to be like an hour, we're going to be done, it's going to be fine.
this is like a 7 hour.
Yeah. There's so much news though. And I feel like it needs to be reported more. Needs to be reported more.
So, yeah, my random shitty fun fact today, which is your favourite time of the day, Rob.
It is indeed, yeah. It's like Christmas.
We're following on from the theme of last week's.
Japanese.
I know. Unless you keep hating on the
No,
Japs.
I had something, but I took it out.
Okay.
So we're going to move on to the delicate subject.
A whole folder full of weird Japanese facts.
Pretty much, yeah. Last time Rob and I chatted about Captain Pugwash's lawsuit. Mm-hmm. You aware of this, Ben?
Is it to do with the fact that they're all like euphemisms?
Yes, masturbates, semen stains, Roger the cabin boy, which is pumping the cabin boy, and pugwash itself is actually slang for a blowy. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
Is it?
Mm-hmm. In Australia.
Oh, here, mate, he's a pug wash.
Yeah.
Wash my pug.
Yeah. Pug wash
I
and steak.
don't really want to refer to my penis as a pug. I don't think that was the most
Flattering.
flattering. Yeah.
I'd describe myself as a pug. But I also,
No, but I mean, like,
I also wheeze.
If I was trying to entice a woman with my genitalia, I wouldn't say, "Oh, do you want to come and wash my pug?"
You might.
Is that how you entice women? You ask her to wash your pug.
No, I asked him to rub on my knob.
Yeah, that's good, yeah.
You've got it nailed down, Ben.
Do you want to see the wolf?
Okay. This week we're gonna follow the theme of inappropriate children's books.
Yes.
So here's a list of proposed children's books that were rejected before being published.
Fucking love this.
Bar in the wizard's sleeve.
These are all kids' books, remember. There are a lot, but I've rattled down a really small list of 18.
Nice.
Okay, so the first two are actually published and they're very light-hearted. Winnie the Pooh Misfortunes. So we've got Cooking with Pooh and Pooh Gets Stuck. And they were actually released. There's a few of these that were released in this list. Next we've got The Muffin Muncher. Who Will Toss My Salad? Scouts in Bondage. This is a really good educational book. Feelings and How to Destroy Them.
Petrie has read that book.
That should be written on the back of every like whiskey bottle.
Yes. Yeah.
Here's a diversity book. Who cares about disabled people?
Oh, Jesus.
I feel like the emphasis in that title was
Slightly different.
Yeah, there's
I might have twisted that slightly.
worded it well.
We've got safety first, so hammers, screwdrivers and scissors. I can do it. That's teaching kids how to play with things they shouldn't play with. The Night Dad Went to Jail.
a Bolton story.
Children are no match for fire.
Babies versus Blaze.
This is a Christmas special book that has now made its way around the ghetto. The Loneliest Hole in the World.
Plot twist: it's about a garden implement.
Things rich
No
kids
lawnmower
have.
in sight.
Things rich kids have, but you never will.
That's a fucking epic pun. I want
Good healthcare, good education.
I've got a couple of mates that are having kids right now, and I wish that book existed so I could send it to them.
I think it does. I think it's like a
It has been published.
awareness. Yeah, I think it has.
Oh, I'm grabbing
like
that out. That is going to them.
Explaining to kids
that in
why
my
they're
notes.
explain to kids why they're getting cigarette boxes for Christmas and stuff. We've got next on the list. We've got Human Anatomy, the pop-up edition. So let's ramp it up a bit for the last few.
Up from Human Anatomy.
If it feels good, touch it. You were an accident. This is my favourite on the list. Dad's new wife, Greg. It's an actual book.
Dad's new wife, Greg.
Yeah, I think it's another diversity one.
I mean, again, I understand the thought process behind the book, and I think it's in essence a very positive thing. Does Greg necessarily consider himself the wife, though?
That's what I was thinking as well. That's what I was thinking. 'Cause I was thinking, I was like, wow, is this?
Your dad might not always be the masculine one in the relationship.
Yeah, can you have two dads?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be the power bomb all the time.
Also, I'm pretty sure that homosexuals of each sex just either call their partner either the wife or their husband.
Yeah, but
Still,
they're
like
not.
husband and husband, wife and wife.
They're not all called Greg.
They don't assume the other gendered role because they get married.
Okay, we've got the sequel to The Night Dad Went to Jail. It's called Daddy Drinks Because You Cry.
Oh, fucking hell.
And probably the grimmest.
I thought the sequel was going to be like Daddy's getting a lethal injection or something. I don't know. But Jesus, that's even grimmer.
And finally, we've got the
Daddy
grimmest.
dropped the soap.
Grimmest one on the list. So, Patty went splat. Don't you forget your seatbelt. So pretty grim. A few of these obviously actually got published. So clearly, again, censorship is failing miserably, and common sense just doesn't seem to exist. Which brings us on nicely to something else that doesn't exist.
Yes, segues.
That is, he's getting so good at it since you've been away.
I've basically spent the last few weeks just making fucking sound pads that sound shit and don't trigger properly. I've been working on my segues too. Okay, so Finland doesn't exist. How do you feel about that statement, boys?
Oh, it's stupid.
Ambivalent, is that the word?
Yeah. Nonplussed. Whatever, man. It fucking exists.
So let's get into the theory then. So
Give us the broad strokes.
yeah, so this developed on reddit.com/Finland conspiracy.
No, but obviously, so I did a little bit of reading prior to this.
Yeah.
I remember reading this 10 years ago on 4chan.
Fucking
Yeah.
no doubt you were lurking
course.
on 4chan at 19.
He's about 7 years
Winding over
old.
go porn. I definitely remember hearing about this fucking a long time ago. I'm pretty sure it was there, unless it migrated from
Reddit to
Reddit
4chan.
to 4chan. But
Well, I think so. It's the same theory, so we'll roll with it.
Yeah, I don't know what this is at all, so I'm looking forward
I'm
to it.
pretty sure it came from Reddit, but 4chan and Reddit go hand in hand. I would say the ideas I'm discussing today were submitted by Reddit user Purveyor of the Truth.
Yeah. Of course.
So the theory,
Can't trust that name.
the theory broadly states that the European nation Finland is a hoax that was created and maintained by the Japanese and the Russians to give the Japanese free rein without environmental repercussions to fish in the Baltic Sea.
obviously,
Yep, this secret operation was designed to profit both countries, convincing everyone that Finland does actually exist as a long-running covert operation.
counterpoint.
Okay, that's
Why
correct.
don't if it is to stop the repercussions? Russia has a lot of sea around it. Why does it just let Japan fish in its own seas, as opposed to inventing a place?
Because there's only so many whales that can be harpooned.
See, this is just you going back.
And
This
that's,
is you just
and
going
that's
back
why
to.
it's illegal.
And this is also just you going back to why you don't like the Japanese.
There's too many live octopuses to eat.
Sorry,
That's the Koreans, man.
sorry, James. Please,
No,
please continue.
Japanese choke on the suckers of octopus when they try and eat them alive.
So, like common occurrence, like
Yeah, it's like 500 people a
the
year.
Japanese, all of the Japanese, every time they try and eat a live squid.
No, it's 500 Japanese a year die from trying to eat live octopus because they get the suckers stuck in
Is
their
it
throat.
not? It's not a Korean delicacy though.
No,
The British is a
it's like
Korean.
it's like katsu chicken.
James, facts about Asia.
Oh, there's a pad.
I've got a new fancy. Did you know the Japanese call me a cunt?
Okay.
No, I have actually heard about people choking on the octopus kind of sushi because they kill it. It's obviously it's a dead octopus. It's cut, but the thing is, the suckers are still working,
Put soy sauce on it.
and the salt reacts. Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
That's yeah.
old boy.
Yeah.
Right, sorry, James, Finland. You're
Okay.
telling us why it doesn't exist.
So, the United Nations were included in this cover-up as well to help Finland get away with it. The physical place...
How can Finland get away with it if Finland doesn't exist?
Yeah.
to help Russia. to help Russia get away with Finland being a fake country. My apologies. Sincere apologies.
I thought you'd given the game away already.
I don't think there's a lot of game. I'm panicking every time you've got a counter argument. I didn't expect one so early. I had to just start chatting about octopus now. Right, the physical place of Finland is actually just eastern Sweden. Here's a quote from the thread itself. So, Helsinki is located in eastern Sweden. It's not like the people flying there would even notice. The theory suggests that since it's all forest, no one would even know any different anyway.
Wow. The whole country of Finland is a forest.
There's rakes of forest, so in Scandinavia and
But yeah.
other places.
Yeah. In other continents.
There are parts of the world
Viking
That
land.
has
in which there are forests.
So world maps have been changed as well, as the United Nations have been tricked into having people continuously believing in Finland.
Right. So what about the people from Finland?
Here we go. So what about Finnish people, you say?
I do say.
Yeah.
Are they all in on the conspiracy? Well, apparently not. And again, I quote, people from Finland generally believe they're from Finland. In reality, though, they're from small towns on either the eastern part of Sweden, western part of Russia, or the northern part of Estonia.
So there's people who believe they're from Finland,
Speak the language of Finland.
speak Finnish,
Yeah.
have a passport that says they're Finnish, that live on bits of land that have been deliberately annexed from other countries to call Finland.
Yep.
Finland fucking exists.
Yeah.
No,
whether it is the particular landmass or not. It's,
Yeah.
no, it's a fallacy.
No.
Yeah.
Well, there might be an historical part
Wait,
of that because
Actually, I think this is a good point to bring in my my experiment. You continue while I...
yes, there might be like a historical part of it because like back in like I don't know like the 1400s or 1600s, one or the other, Sweden had actually said no, Finland, you are now Sweden. So there may be a part of that people have went, well, technically this is still
true.
it.
Yeah.
But in reality, no, it's not. It's a whole country to itself, and it has been for quite a while. Until Russia, it then became like a part. Russia went, no, this is it. Finland is now Russian.
Well, yeah, and then
Yeah, so everyone wants free reign on fishing.
They had what was the White Army? Was it the White War or something it was called between the Russians? And then
Possibly.
Finland was again just a country.
so
Okay, so
right, okay. So if we are saying
Right.
cities in Western Finland are in Sweden, cities in Eastern Finland are in Russia, and there is an ocean in between, or a sea in between them. Okay. So if you were to go into Google Maps and get a travel time from Kuusamo on the eastern side of Finland to Kemi on the western side.
Yep.
It takes 3 hours and 16 minutes. Now, if there was some kind of fuckery involved to just divert them round the sea, let's, for an example, Helsinki is right down the south of quote-unquote Finland. So if we say we're diverting them that far out the way, that then turns that 3 hour journey into a 16 hour and 45-minute journey. And these people who believe they can drive cross-country, but in fact there is a sea in the middle of their country, are not alerted by this fact. Say you live in Kuusamo and you want to go see Annie Betty in Kemi.
Yeah.
You're like, that's fine, it's a 3 hour drive. Get there 2 days later, I had to stop like so many times. What the fuck's with this?
They're good sailors.
Good defence.
Yeah, the Vikings are moik at sailing.
Okay.
Also, the Finnish hate being connected to like the Norse.
Only two kind of Finnish people I've ever heard of is Thor Ragnarok and Peter Schmeichel. I don't think either of them are Finnish.
I think
that went well.
I think Ben's made a very clear and scientific point.
This is where I just try and confuse the situation to try and get
keep talking.
get out of answering a question. But valid point, Ben. I believe I'm not arguing with you. I'm portraying what the theory is. I believe it.
But yeah,
no, you believe it. So I've not changed your view on the situation.
Yeah.
No, I think you need to do a bit more research.
So what about Helsinki? Where's Helsinki?
So Helsinki is Sweden.
Helsinki's in Sweden, right?
So, but if we're like taking the assumption that Finland is like geographically, what's on the east of Finland is actually Russia, and what's on the west is actually Sweden. Estonia is actually like the south, so Helsinki would maybe be like bordering Estonia and and it's just squashed together, so they're just omitting the sea from the middle and putting it together. That was my assumption with the experiment.
Yeah, no, I think you're completely right. And the Helsinki, Sweden. Wow. Okay, right. Yeah.
So
that's nonsense. James, what else is there?
Come to this point, which is very valid. So here's where the psychology comes in. The most sneaky part of this theory is the idea that an entire country is made up seems so bizarre that no one would ever believe it, right?
Yeah.
Therefore making it easy to get away with.
What's the, yeah,
I think that's all the evidence you need right there.
Because I think I read that there's it's like someone's like theory about I don't know if it's like advertisement or whatever, but like the most propaganda. Sorry, like the most. If something is outrageous but believable, then it is it's believable. If something is outrageous and unbelievable, then it's it's unbelievable. But if something is so ridiculously unbelievable, then therefore that no one would try and persuade you of something that's so unbelievable. So therefore, it must be true.
Yes.
Yeah, I see. No, I see where you're going. No, I do.
Yeah,
I totally mean.
I think that I explained it in a really roundabout way, but I remember reading that when I did a vague bit of reading into the subject beforehand.
Yeah, the thing I find about this is like when did it start off as a real theory and then become a meme? that's my thing, because surely it's just something that's grown arms and legs, like all conspiracy theories, but I think it's went past the point of being a conspiracy theory that people believe in to just being a meme to annoy the Finnish. Because let's be honest.
Although I watched a video, like one of the few videos I watched was a guy like sitting in his bedroom being like, basically just obviously going through what James has explained and is going to explain, like the broad strokes of why it doesn't exist. And then he like Skypes someone from Finland and he's like, so like, what are your thoughts on this? And the guy's like, well, I'm from Finland. "Oh, so you believe Finland exists?" "Yes." I was like, "Well, I sent you through a load of proof. I think it's very irrefutable. I think it's nonsense that you still believe you're from Finland."
Yeah. See,
I couldn't tell if it was a setup or not. I don't think it was.
the thing about Finland as well is that this is actually just going into me about having an issue with Finland. Is that Finland is one of the most educated countries in the world.
Okay.
It's got some of the best universities in the world.
You mean Eastern Sweden?
Eastern Sweden or part of Russia? No, just Finland because it exists. And the big thing is, you think for all this intelligence and art, fucking hell, they are shit at media. They are shit at me. Like, I'm talking about like TV, film, and music. All around the board, fucking dog shit. Dog shit. They've got no known actors. Like no.
You've got no known anything because it doesn't exist.
Their music. You type in like the 3 biggest bands from Finland, and they are shocking.
Heavy metal.
No. Number 1, Him. Wow.
Vila Valor.
Bird alive by love. If I should die before I wake.
Sorry, they are.
What are you saying about him?
They are famous because of a fucking symbol that was tattooed on a Mongol. Then, second famous band, the Rasmus.
I saw the Rasmus.
Yeah.
Some guy that used to come into the coffee shop I worked in was like, "Hey, you like music? I bought my daughter tickets to the Rasmus, but she's got to study for an exam. Do you want to come see the Rasmus with me?" And I was like, "Yeah, fucking right." So it was like 10 years, 12 years after that song was big. Boy still had flowers in his hair, or feathers in his hair. It was great. I think you're just attacking. I think you have a bias against Finland the same way James has a bias against Japan.
Yeah, you've just listed the 2 greatest bands of all time.
Third, Lord.
Lord.
No, not the Kiwi Lordy. He's actually done a very good pop album, as in Lordy.
Yeah.
The monsters and the rock band.
Rock.
Hallelujah. Yes. The one.
The Viking Rob Zombie.
Yeah. And they've also got Hanoi Rocks, who've had like one good track, but that's it. That's what the Finnish have brought to us in terms of music. How can they fuck it up so badly? Like, you're next to Sweden, a pop powerhouse, right? All you have to say is ABBA, and that's just fucking book closed. But then you've got newer bands like Goldfrapp, Robin, massive, and you've got Norway just a little bit down the road as well. And at least they fucking nail black metal and they go hardcore it. But not just that though, is that Norway's got like a really good alternative pop scene where you've got the likes of Aurora and Royskop. But you've got Finland. Finland they've done fuck all.
That's because they don't exist, so they can't do anything if they don't exist.
That's why people don't think they exist, because they're so shit on a media platform.
Yeah, so like if you're part of a global conspiracy to try and convince the world that a country exists, right, they need to have some form of media output. Right, here's this band, beige shit. Let's just say they're from Finland. We'll pay them enough that they won't talk.
Exactly, Ben. Exactly.
We'll put them on the world stage. It's not going to attract too much attention because they're so bland, except for Lordy, because they are the opposite of bland.
Lordy took it too far.
They're like Diet Guar.
PC Guar.
PC Guar.
That's it. And the thing that Finland actually do nail, we've got 2 things that actually go, yeah, we're awesome at this. And that's making saunas. Because in Finland, there's
ice swimming.
In Finland, there's 3 million saunas. They care about. Did you know that Finnish army, the first thing they do when they get deployed to a new country is they build a sauna. That's for real.
Not a latrine.
No, sauna, man. You got to decompress.
Most other militaries, like sanitation comes first. If you're baking a camp.
Yeah.
Well, maybe security, then sanitation.
Nope, sauna. Bulletproof sauna it'll be. And second of all, which is a real one, is that they also have the best racing drivers in the world. That's it. That's true. I don't know. I think it's just because it's a cold country. They all learn how to do the Scandinavian flick. They all essentially learn how to drift in their driving lessons. No, seriously,
it's because the roads are icy, so it's how you control yourself when you spin out. Yeah.
So they learn how to do that, and they birthed just the greatest racing drivers of all time. They've got two of the best Formula One.
So what you're saying though is that Finland exists?
Yes, Finland still exists. Yeah.
So
I want to bring them down a little bit. I want them to exist. I want to prove that, but also at the same time, I want them to
Don't
look.
want them to get too much ahead of
I want
themselves.
them to look at their flaws. I was like, guys, you're not really nailing it right now. Like when you Google bands in Finland, it's him. That's tragic. You know what I mean?
okay.
I was listening to him.
I've got some more arguments. I've got some more arguments that doesn't involve Vila Valo. But yeah, Ben likes him, so yeah.
I mean, in all fairness, there's a couple of songs that I like. You was listening to it, like start listening to it ironically because I was like, there's those songs that Bam Margera liked, and they've just been like, I've just replayed them so many times that I'm like, that's a banger, like.
So I've been choking for a chance to speak about the Japanese. So the Japanese love their sushi and other types of fish dishes, but tight fishing regulations.
Island nation, so they love seafood.
Maybe. Tight fishing regulations and worldwide public outcry meant that they couldn't fish enough to meet demands. So what could be done? After World War II, Russia found itself short of food also. This fact cannot be disputed. Probably the only thing on this episode that can. Anyway, Japan was facing a related problem. They discovered that they had been overfishing and needed new fishing territory and waters to exploit. This is why the two nations right there and then formed a pact which lasted throughout the Cold War and still lasts until this day.
Bet they sealed it with a pinky promise.
They did. They did. and a heartogram. The Japanese approached Russia with the idea of granting them secretive fishing rights in the Baltic, and obviously were forced also to keep the secret hidden from the rest of the world. They decided to tell everyone that much of the Baltic Sea was actually a landmass called Finland.
And what do fish have?
Oh, we'll get there. But they have fins. So obviously there'd be no need for any regulations.
Please don't say this is going down this route.
There would be no need for any regulation or overseeing fishing there. If people thought there was a land-based country there, how could the Japanese still be fucking harpooning whales? The two agreed, and this led to the building of the Trans-Siberian...
whales.
Thanks, Ben.
Sorry.
Trans-Siberian Railway, which was used to facilitate this operation. Keeping up their part of the deal, Japan donated a percentage of its catch to Russia. So it talks about the fucking relationships between the Japanese and the Soviet Union as well, how they've been pretty strained and kind of making a point of being strained when they're not actually strained. Talking about the kind of Russo-Japanese War, the Russian Civil War, 1918 to 21, and how the Soviet government refused to sign a peace treaty in 1951, and the state of war technically existed.
It's all a ruse.
Yeah.
Yep.
Old fibs.
State of war technically existed between the two until 1956, where it was ended by the Soviet-Japanese Joint Declaration. However, a formal peace treaty has never been signed. So, yeah, I need a pad for that. Yeah. So this theory says that as early as 1925, there's evidence that Japan and the Soviet Union had secret deals with each other regarding fishing rights. I got a light in here.
I just turned the light on because my eyes were getting sore.
Yeah, it's helpful.
I was getting to stare at James with just the glare of the computer screen off his face.
So, there was kind of... Soviet Union gave up much of its fishing rights to Japan with seemingly little explanation as to why. These secretive treaties and alliances continued right up until just before the fall of the Soviet Union. Mikhail Gorbachev, the last leader of the Soviet Union, made trips to Japan months before the fall of the Soviet Union, stating the entire time how the relations between the two were improving, even when, at the time, Soviet relations with the rest of the world were worsening.
Sorry, I just looked over at Rob and he was just like sucking his teeth and shaking his head.
So, Rob, have you got anything to contribute there?
No, it seems legit, mate.
So, the following thought-provoking points are raised concerning the development of this treaty again. And once more, I quote,
The Raven.
"The entire past 100 years of Japanese-Russian relations bring up many unanswered questions. Why, at the height of World War II, were the battles between these two countries minimal, despite being on opposing sides?"
Because their interests were focused elsewhere.
Yeah, 100%. And
There's a lot of historical evidence to back that up.
And it's not like the Japan-Korean War as well, where they're right next to fucking each other. Japan and Finland are a bit far apart.
Slightly.
Japan and Russia, though.
Well,
Japan and Russia, though.
Yeah,
that's
it's
where
Japan and Russia.
oh, sorry.
Finland doesn't exist.
Oh, yeah, that was it.
How silly of you,
Oh,
Rob.
yeah. Didn't take that into consideration. No. But it's always a bit of fun, though, when you hear Gorbachev's back. Do you know what I mean? You forget about him. Oh, there he is, Gorbachev.
Oh, yeah. There's the guy.
So,
Creating Finland and...
why did Japan
For all
sign
his
it?
faults.
Yeah.
Man created a country.
Yeah, and 3 million saunas.
Why did
Fictional
Japan?
saunas.
Why did Japan sign a peace treaty with Russia in 1941, just months before their allies, Germany, went to war with Russia?
Just for the crack.
Yeah.
Yeah, good answer.
Well, because each of their focus was elsewhere, and it was like, right, we won't fuck you in the arse if you don't fuck us in the arse.
It's more or less the same answer as the last, well, the same question twice.
Nailed it.
I'd also sign a treaty with probably the most powerful country in the world as well.
Yeah.
So
Largest.
Didn't see those nukes coming though, did they?
Fucking idiots.
why? Why?
Open their eyes.
Why were relationships?
That was a double hit. I got it, I was like, oh, and then I went, oh no.
I'm having a crisp. Why were relations between Japan and Russia always good throughout the Cold War, despite the major geopolitical differences between the countries and close geographical positions that you think would cause tensions? That's the same question again.
I don't know. I stopped listening.
Yeah, I wasn't listening either. So, we've got an answer here. The answer's simple. They shared a common secret, a common asset that worked in both of their favours. And that asset was Finland.
Okay.
Metal.
Okay.
So, yeah, we'll get into a bit more detail and further evidence.
I have a question for. Oh, are you going for a break?
Yeah, I think we're now like an hour and 10 minutes in. Yeah, we probably should do a separate episode, but we'll see. But we've got our first grim and dim section to look forward to. So, you guys happy to take a wee break?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sound. See you guys. We'll hear from our sponsor.
Toodles.
Hi, I'm James from Jet Fuel PPI. Are you in rakes of debt and may have ticked the box years ago but probably didn't? You may be one of the gazillions of people who are entitled to compensation. We want the best for you, and you're running out of time to claim. Head straight to www.sppievenething.com now for your obligatory, no-win, massive fee quote. Use promo code JETFUEL and just relax as we look at all your financial details, have a chuckle, and then sell it on to other businesses while you're kept in the dark. Waste your afternoon on the phone to us today. Apply today and get your free Jet Fuel PPI keyring to remind you of your experience. Remember, again, you're running out of time. Make sure you apply for Jet Fuel PPI. Jet Fuel PPI does not take any responsibility for cold calls received after you've passed on your details.
Truly fantastic.
I mean, I don't know what rates Harry Razors pay, but
Yes.
maybe not as good as PPI.
Yeah, not as good as PPI.
Who needs a
Joey-
Patreon when you've got other things that
you've
we've
got
advertised.
that what were we sponsored by last week? That pub and the attic.
Oh, the
Is it the cafe?
oh, what was it? I can't fucking remember.
Yeah, it's that nightclub in Perth across from that and that
This
pub.
this bar in the attic
We were sponsored by
and
last week.
the Smice Factory.
And the Smice Factory. Yeah, that was it.
Spice Factory would
Not
have.
not targeting,
Spice Factory would have definitely worked, but
not
we
targeting
won't-
any businesses in Perth.
So yeah, sponsor goods. But do you know what, Harry's razors? Do you know? Yeah, maybe sometime in the future we will have a look at them when we get a chance.
Maybe we'll open their email.
Same with like Audible, and yeah.
What's the other one? Mac
Maybe.
Weldon.
Yeah, Mac Weldon. That's
Mac Welding.
Oh, yeah.
and the
Express VPN.
Yes, ExpressVPN's a big one. Re headphones is a big one right now at the
Oh,
moment.
yeah. For Hymns.
For Hymns is a biggie as well. For Hymns is
You definitely know that you're like when you're listening to podcasts that it's like For Hymns, you're like, oh, I'm in that demographic. Interesting.
yes, I am.
like razors are pretty universal, VPNs universal, things like that. But it's like For Hymns, I'm like, oh,
do you know what also goes in?
impotence and balding.
Do you know what also goes in hand with that advertisement as well before him? BlueChew. BlueChew.com. I've got a lot of podcasts with BlueChew.com advertisements.
What's that?
It's for erectile dysfunction.
Oh yeah.
So it's some chewing gum bit of chew.
That gives you that's Viagra in chewing gum.
Yep. And it is I don't know. I can't remember what it's called.
It's like a
Like GDA approved, and you get it sent to your house. And you get a rock hard cock.
you're selling it well. It's a double whammy. So
Yeah, so
Would you like
fresh breath and a solid boner.
yeah. So we need to. Yeah, sadly we're not going to get sponsored by Blue Chew because it's like an American only outfit, so we're not going to get that.
Can keep hoping.
Not going to get that product in the UK, but
You can buy the blue pill from Boots, just off their website.
Can you?
Yeah.
I was thinking.
Not that I've looked.
I was always thinking about like, I have a friend that just swallows pills. He
Like any specific variety, or
Any specific friend?
uppers and downers
At the same time.
I've seen these pills and it's like okay, and I just thought I could just throw that in the mixer and I know it's going to be swallowed, and then I could just be like maybe just I don't know how to trigger it, maybe go like, oh no, check this porn out and then let the seed of doubt grow in him. Well, and literally grow it.
but then I don't know if like
do it in a pub or something.
I feel like if you're on like a ton of amphetamines, like the obvious side effect of that is that it constricts all your blood flow, so you end up having the inability to get an erection. So if you then add Viagra or an equivalent, which opens up it deconstricts your blood flow, do you not just have the normal ability to get and maintain an erection at that point?
Oh, that is a really good point.
Do they cancel each other out?
Possibly.
Ooh, I think I don't think they'd cancel each other. I think they'd probably do some like serious harm.
It's really bad for his heart.
Yeah, it just really fuck him up.
Do it.
He's not that happy anyway. I don't think he'll be that bothered.
It's not going to make a difference.
Right, where?
Okay, so
Yeah.
I've got
But great advert though, honestly. Thank you, BPI.
thanks man. I've got another pad to hit, so hopefully it works this time. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
If not, I'll sing for you.
Yeah.
I want to hear the singing. Do you want to sing first?
Nah, last resort.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's see if it works.
This
then.
is my last resort.
Okay.
What way to pick up? You're so puzzled. Okay.
That was yeah, it worked. Okay, so we've got a grim and dim section, which
Wait,
is
did we round up Finland? So okay.
no, we've still got Finland. Finland's not finished yet.
Oh right. Oh,
Okay.
Hard end.
Mic drop. Now I'm just tossing off the microphone.
For listeners, the microphone just fell out of my hand. He's now,
it's when
now holding it.
I'm going to just keep recording so that we hear all the muffled noises of you putting the mic back in. Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to have to bring Rolf Harris back, but
oh, that's worse. That's the worst.
That's what rapey stubble sounds like.
The beard rub's the worst.
The beard rub.
Is this what ASMR is?
Oh, it's very rubby.
I think so.
Oh, it's not for me. I like that though. I got a lot from that.
Our Grim and Tim section's going brilliant. Right, we're back in. Good, we're back on the game.
You're welcome.
So, will I just open up with our Grim and Dim story? Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, fire away.
Okay, so the date is July 9th, 1993. Gary Hoy, a lawyer from Toronto, Canada, was going about his day like any other day. He worked in an office on the 24th floor. Today he had a group of interns and students and who were fascinated with the view from his window. Hoy bragged about how strong the glass was. In an attempt to prove to the groups of students that the glass windows of the Toronto Dominion
Sounds like a copy
Centre...
pasta. PP pasta, sorry.
I know where this is going. He's jumping, isn't he?
So, in an attempt to prove to the group of students that the glass windows of the Toronto Dominion Centre were unbreakable, Hoy threw himself at the glass on the 24th floor. The glass did not break, but the window frame gave way. He fell 24 floors and splattered like a bit of bird shit on the ground.
I like your imagery there.
People on the street thought that the canteen had spilled a tub of tomato ravioli. In an interview by the Toronto Star, structural engineer Bob Greer says, and I quote, "I don't know of any building code in the world that would allow a 160-pound man to run up against glass and withstand it." He later in another interview stated that the glass in fact did not break, but popped out of its frame, leading to Hoy's fatal plunge. Therefore, in a cruel twist of irony, Hoy was right, the glass didn't break.
Boom. Boom.
Wow. I just see as soon as you said it though, when you were,
You just knew.
jumping at it, yeah.
I just said glass. And you're like, yeah.
Yeah, I see where this is going. Oh, that's what an idiot.
Yeah,
I love it though.
That's, yeah.
I have a story for Grim and Dim. Now, much like it's like your news articles. However, you stuck to local news.
Yeah.
Now, this is from worldnewsdailyreport.com. It's undated, and there is no references to local news sources, so unsure of its validity.
So it's very valid thing.
But it's a cracker. So, I'll read you the headline to begin with.
Okay.
480-pound woman, just for those in the UK, that's about 32 and a bit stone.
That's very
charged
heavy.
with involuntary manslaughter after husband died performing oral sex.
Whoa.
What? So the husband was performing oral sex?
Yep.
Oh god.
An Ohio woman has been sentenced to involuntary manslaughter after her spouse was found dead minutes after he performed oral sex onto her.
Lovely.
Annabelle Gaston, 28, was arrested last year after calling 911 when her husband, Erwin Gaston, 31, had cardiac arrest while apparently being suffocated to death. This is a quote from Mrs. Gaston. "We were having sex and he started eating my pussy. I was just sitting on his face for like 25 minutes when his legs started to turn greenish blue." She told me.
No.
This is erotica for Ben.
Jesus.
I've got a couple of other quotes I want to pull from this before we...
Do you know who would have loved that? David Carradine.
Do you know that like her legs spread as wide as they can be, they're still going to be fucking squashing his head.
That's it. Like, doesn't matter if she did like the full split, she's still gonna have chub and rub when you're at 400 pounds.
So
oh god,
this was
could you
in this
imagine the smell?
absolutely true story. I don't like well, this is a quote from the sentencing judge. Apparently, The time of death is estimated to be 17 minutes before the 911 call and 59 minutes after Erwin Gaston's head was removed from the inside of the defendant's genitals.
It was inside.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Where is it?
So he's got a fat fanny as well.
According to Gaston's lawyer, Erwin Gaston liked to insert his head inside the client's vagina. And my client warned him on multiple occasions that it was a dangerous practice. So the wife said it's probably not safe to put your whole head in there.
She let him do it.
It's like a reverse birth.
Oh. So the closing paragraph of this article, I just want to read out because this is
of course.
Is it? Then we can dissect. Stop texting me. I'm not that popular. Erwin Gaston was hospitalised last year, only weeks after the couple's honeymoon, after quote-unquote large amounts of fecal matter had entered his lungs during oral anal intercourse.
What?
Eating ass.
So he was eating ass.
And breathed in a lot of shit.
So she didn't know she'd shat because she's that fat.
I'm thinking from reading between the lines that she probably can't wipe that well, and he's gone down there, and in the process, the dried fecal matter that has been there has become airborne with his disruption and entered his lungs.
Oh, lovely. So it definitely fits in the grim category, and it's pretty stupid to go down there. So yeah, it's dim as well. So yeah, thanks, Ben. I'm fucking disgusted. I can't get the fucking image of Susan Boyle out of my head either. I don't know why.
I mean, like, right, okay. So
I'm honestly like so much going, so many questions.
I mean, before we get into the questions, like, I mean, so we were asked obviously like to bring something to the table, so we can.
This is your homework.
You've just slapped your dick on the table. That's what you've done.
But I mean, like initially,
might as well stop now.
Initially, I wanted to talk about this woman I spoke to in a customer service experience who claimed to have been experimented on by MK Ultra. She was a targeted individual, all these things, until I realised that attacking an individual who probably has quite a severe mental illness, or is at least very mentally unwell, is maybe not the most
ethical thing
to do.
Yeah, but you can.
Well, the encounter itself was humorous.
Yeah.
Maybe not from her point of view.
Yeah. No. No, I totally get it. I think that is a. Yeah. I think it's a smart thing to do.
Instead, I found a story about a guy that
he got ate alive
by a vagina.
That is horrendous. Like,
she must have done some damage if he's like.
There's a picture of
him. No.
No?
Oh, like it depends how bad it is.
I mean, they're clothed.
Oh, right, okay, cool. Gives me because I bet he's. Right, so I am looking at them, and right, okay. She.
Rob's got a semi.
Yes. So I think everyone here has seen Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yep.
Yeah.
What, first one?
Yeah.
Original.
Yeah, the original. I think
Oregano.
The other one's called Charlie, isn't it, Charlie?
Don't know.
But yeah, so I don't know how to describe it. There's a picture of her on her wedding day, so she obviously was married, or was a bridesmaid. Yeah, probably a bridesmaid. Always a bride. Always a bride, never the groom.
Well, I did say later in the story their honeymoon. So.
Oh yeah. So, but she's here with her partner. Her partner, I don't know. He looks like if you ever watched any 80s films, and it's a set like in a school, and then you've got the geeks, where they wear like a bow tie and
he looks
glasses.
like the geek from the Toxic Avenger before he became the Toxic Avenger.
That is exactly it. And she is wearing a lovely gown, a blue gown. And she looks like Veronica from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory when she eats the wrong sweet and it bloats her up to a large size and she has to be rolled out. I'll let James see the photo.
Yeah,
as well.
please. Oh.
Let that sink in.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So is that £400?
Why does that always happen? Why do like really fat birds pick really skinny guys and vice versa?
I think it's the opposite way.
Yeah.
I think it's really skinny guys have a kink. Well, it's not really skinny guys. I think just some guys have a kink where they really like large women, and they I don't know, like the
challenge.
Like the challenge, but
Don't. So what's the lesson here then? Don't go down
on a girl where you can actually climb inside her. I don't know.
Or don't try and go inside someone.
Yeah. Don't climb into a girl like the ball pit at Dweezil's.
Moral of the story: if
there is
if
one.
you can, just because you can doesn't mean you should. I put your head inside.
Any hole sometimes is not the goal.
Well put, Rob.
I mean,
delicately put.
Yeah.
If you can get your head inside, you could probably give her a good fisting or something like that. That'll probably do it.
There's like if I can hand puppet her.
Oh wow!
Snap your arm off at the elbow.
I know, but imagine like she. How long do you think she was like?
But like
sitting on him before she realised, oh, he's dead. So it must have been a long time because his feet
like
went blue.
25 minutes.
Yeah, so she's sitting eating a curry while he's.
So she's obviously not getting anything from it because none of his movements are obviously fucking vibrating. None of his movements are obviously like doing anything for her in terms of sensation. So she's obviously not feeling it. So the fact that he just stops moving is completely unnoticed by her.
Yeah. But I suppose if maybe just the act of his head being inside is enough.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But I mean,
so what more have you got to say about?
She can't be picky.
Right, I know it's horrible, and I've got to say it, but she must have fucking stank.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, but anyone it's £400 will stink.
This is like
because there's reaches there's points in your body you can't clean anymore.
He can probably climb inside some of those points.
Oh,
I know.
Well, he did.
I know. Look at that.
That's why he died.
It's like a real version of the Descent.
I think. I mean, we're talking about fucking
rock climbing's for girls.
we're talking about 50-year-old tin chicken stench.
Oh, like a Frey Bentos that's been left in the sun.
Yeah, Rob's looking a wee bit upset by that comment.
Yeah, it's my favorite news story of all time. Yeah, I can't believe you would put those two together. I think that's out of order. You can hide behind those PCs, but my feelings are hurt. Yeah, no, I don't know. Did you hear about the 50-year-old chicken?
No.
I'll give you the short story. Couple in England, amazing couple. They look like a right riot. The man, older retired army man in like his 80s, chubby little gangster he is, a little rascal, and his wife looks like Jimmy Savile, perm. And on their wedding day, they were gifted a tin chicken.
Mm-hmm.
And then
a whole chicken?
A whole chicken in a tin. Then he ate that chicken 50 years later.
And died?
Nope, he's alive. They made a story out of him. My kind of news. But yeah, I think the smell. I think she would have smelled worse.
It would be fucking awful.
I'd rather eat chicken in a tin than that. I'd rather eat 50-year-old chicken in a tin than that slop.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ben wins the Grim and Dim section.
Yeah, you
didn't realise it was a competition, but I'm going to take this.
So on the subject of Grim and Dim, I do have a wee survey for you.
Okay.
Particularly Ben.
Okay.
So
is this first to partake in, or is this the result?
Yeah,
of a survey?
no, I'd like you to partake. It's a couple of questions. So would you rather drink a pint of stale piss or listen to Chris Martin for Coldplay sing a cappella for 6 hours straight?
It's easy. Piss.
That's a really tough one, isn't it?
Well, how long do you have to listen to Chris Martin?
So it's a
hours.
pint of stale piss,
An hour?
or Chris
6
Martin
hours.
6 hours.
singing a cappella. So he's on his own singing for 6 hours straight.
Do I have prep time?
No, you just go in a room and you're either you're tied to a chair and you either have to drink a pint of stale piss, or you have to listen to Chris Martin for 6 hours.
Can you drink?
No, it's just strapped to a chair.
So
You can drink stale piss.
I have no prior warning. Because if I had prior warning, I would just sleep deprive myself.
Yeah,
and then
sleep for
listen,
that.
sleep
No.
to
Yeah.
Chris Martin.
No prior warning. You're taken hijacked from work and strapped to a chair.
I mean, in all fairness, if I've got a pretty strong constitution, stand the piss and
Would
get
you
out of
do
there.
the piss and get out? Oh no, I've not.
I mean, I'd feel threatened by the whole situation of being in there. I just want to get out as soon as possible.
Rob, what would you do?
Oh, Chris Martin for 6 hours.
Do you like Chris Martin?
I'd probably end up having a chuckle to myself. It's just him singing. Then I think after an hour point, I'd kind of go into like a psychosis where it's like, look at this guy just singing to himself.
It's a
6 hours.
It's a little bit painful.
I think I would end up enjoying it. I think I am the perfect subject for Stockholm syndrome. Where I think like if I was abducted, like the first hour I was like, oh god, I'm gonna die, and then they might give you like a bit of food and water. I'm like, do you know what? These guys aren't so bad.
So
Like I just come back. It's like, Robert, so you've got away from that camp. You got anything to say? It's like, yeah. ISIS are sound, man.
What was it? What was it in the fucking group chat the other day? It was something about like the Taliban.
Oh, the Taliban comes up quite a bit.
Yeah, no.
I said nothing's worse than the Taliban except for ISIS. But then was there not a misspelling in there? Somewhere
Yeah,
as well?
there was a misspelling. I can't remember what it was.
But anyway, do you have another survey for us?
So
Yeah.
level 2. I wish I had my fucking 8-bit video game pad, but it's not working. Pew pew pew. Okay. Yeah. So level 2, Ben. Would you rather be tied?
Would I rather be what?
Would you rather be tied up in a room with Ed Gein, Jeffrey Dahmer, and John Wayne Gacy, all with access to power tools for 24 hours, or have a 5-minute conversation with Lars Ulrich?
I spend 25 hours with the serial killers, to be honest. Like, especially if he has access to a drum kit.
So, for anyone that doesn't know, Lars Ulrich being
bastards.
Lars Ulrich being Metallica's drummer, he's a sound guy and he loves Napster.
He's a fucking... Was he not Swedish or something?
He definitely
Family,
It
yeah.
wasn't from Finland because it doesn't exist.
Something fucking shite.
Yeah. But can I ask?
Yeah,
about
power tools.
Can I ask about the serial killers? Are they?
I mean, if it's 25 hours and they have access to power tools...
24 hours.
24 hours. I already know I'm there for 24 hours. It's not that they can do anything within those 24 hours, or then it's...
Well, you're tied up to a chair in a room with 3 serial killers with access to...
Also, they're probably old as fuck now.
yeah, that's good. You might have to be able to beat
Yeah,
them.
do you know what? You've
Fucking headbutt the shit out of them.
Yeah,
you've beaten
sure.
me on that question again. So you've won both questions.
Do you want to be in a room with serial killers with access to power tools, or do you want to be in a room with the power tool?
Yes. Have you been sitting thinking about that?
I was like, ah.
You went very quiet for 12 seconds.
I know, because I was having like flashbacks of some kind of monster.
What a shit
Some
DVD.
kind of monster. I love the scene in that where they're fucking writing lyrics. It's like, you know, James always used to write all the lyrics, but like now, like we just get in a room and we just write it out. How about fucking tick 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 tock? Yeah, that's fucking genius, man. Like, fuck off.
What about just,
That's not it. There's something along
No,
those lines.
I know.
what about making EQ in your drums so they're tinny as fuck and putting it on a whole album?
Was that Saint Anger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Rob.
I know that.
Well done.
Is not the. It's funny how he's turned into like a valley girl the older he gets. She was like, and I said, no, Veronica. and then you see James like in all his golf game. You go, fucking hell, man.
It's the
Give me fuel, give me fire.
Oh no, that's the best bit of fucking some kind of monster. It was just like, sometimes, man, I just wanna let loose. I need to get out there, feel the wind in my hair. He has this fucking stupid fucking car.
Yeah.
That you could only have if it was worth fucking millions. I just need to forget it all and jump into my multi-$100,000 car and drive down the motorway. Yeah, it's fucking.
I need to remember where I came from.
Yeah, fuck off.
You come from Italian leather, you cunt.
Yeah, things went down south from after the Black Album.
Well, financially, it went up.
Oh, yeah.
Quite considerably.
They are quite the businessmen.
Mainly from suing everyone.
Yeah.
So, we're need to get into Finland.
I would I would have chosen the 5 minutes with Lars Ulrich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Fucking
5
honestly,
minutes.
I thought, well, maybe because I could probably spew a lot of hatred at him in about 5 minutes.
You could just shout him for 5 minutes. Yeah, that's allowed.
He's so small that I think it'd be fucking hilarious to power bomb him for his own drum kit. Just imagine that.
That's how you make a snare tone, Lars.
Can you just imagine picking him up, his little body, and dropping him on the drum kit and thinking the sounds it would make? That's funny to me.
It just sound like load and reload. Okay, let's. We ready to go into Finland again?
Yeah.
Okay, so
How could we go there if it doesn't exist?
Exactly.
Well done.
That's it.
We've got
Just take it away from you.
So I've got a wee small bit just to finish off. So we've got the process behind the kind of fishing and the agreement between Russia and Japan. So once complete, the catch is transported through Russia, where a small percentage of the food is given to the Russian population. These people,
Sound like it's a parade.
these people,
all these old women in shawls, fish.
these.
But the thing is, the woman opens up and there's a smaller woman inside, and then she opens up and there's also a smaller woman inside.
And then the smallest woman gets no fish.
Yeah, of course.
That's why she's so small.
Yeah, she gets booted, punted,
Penalty kicked into Siberia.
right into the gulag.
So these people were starving at the time that Finland was invented. Therefore, they agreed these terms. The fish is then shipped to Japan under the disguise of Nokia products.
Just imagine a halibut with a fucking aerial sticking out.
Oh god, excellent.
So Japan.
Can you imagine the halibut playing the tunes? Maybe you had to make your own songs with the buttons, numbers.
What was the fucking the message tone? Or the ringtone, the Nokia ringtone. Hello.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Hello.
So is Nokia a Finnish product?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nokia's Finnish.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Well, Nokia's finished because where are their phones these days?
Wow. Business burn. Business burn. Business burn.
So Japan is apparently one of the world's largest importers of Nokia products, and that is obviously just a disguise, as nobody there actually owns a Nokia phone. They're all flaunting Samsungs.
But Nokia's not just a phone company; they're a telecommunications company.
Tumbleweed from James.
But when you didn't see
this is where the cricket noise should
he
be
turned over and just looked from his monitor.
So they also make and manufacture parts of infrastructure for telecommunications products. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if it's not Nokia, what is it? Well, they're actually all just ordering secretive sushi products.
Secret sushi.
Secret sushi. Oh, right, man. Do you want to come and see some of my secretive sushi?
See for the next episode. Can we do an episode on why you dislike Japan, and you can list out?
No, because it'll be like 4 hours.
Fucking hell.
Just no, I don't dislike Japan. Not at all. Not at all.
I dislike the films of Miyazaki.
The Japanese are well troopers.
Seventh Samurai was a shit Star Wars.
Spit it away, more like get the fuck away.
Beam me now, Scotty. So, just in case there was any doubt,
Howl's Moving Castle, more like howling piece of shite.
so Ben took this line away from me. What do fish have?
Gills.
What an arsehole. They do, of course, have gills, but they have fins as well, so therefore the imaginary country was named Finland. The so-called Finnish were forced to learn the newly developed Finnish language, which is suspiciously close to Japanese.
Is it?
I'm keeping quiet, I'm not saying anything.
It's definitely not. It definitely don't sound the same at all.
Maps, aerial, and space photography have all been altered to make it appear that Finland is real. The United Nations all work together to conspire this notion too. And finally,
Okay.
all of the other countries' leaders go along with this as a gesture of goodwill to Russia and Japan to keep them happy, as a peace offering, as a Japanese-Russian combined military is terrifying.
Are you trying to say the Kenyan Prime Minister has a hand in propaganda that Finland exists?
Well, a little bit. More so Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un.
Yeah. Trust me, the Kenyan president does not care about other countries because he doesn't care about his country.
The stretch of land...
Are you saying that Pol Pot was complicit in
Yes.
creating a country?
So the stretch.
Are
of,
you no?
The stretch of land and bright lights that are seen from other areas, e.g., Estonia,
Oh yeah,
they're not there.
that's a country that I bet if you told a lot of people, you go, "Do you think Estonia is a real country?" They go, "No," because nobody knows fuck all about Estonia.
So
They have less prominent exports than Finland do.
Yeah, like I made fun of Finland not having a good media background. Estonia doesn't have a history. It seems like there's nothing interesting about Estonia. Okay. I only get reminded by them when you see them on like Eurovision.
Yeah.
I'd say like, oh man, can't believe this exists. Hey, sorry.
Thank you.
Can we do an episode of if Estonia exists?
So the lights are Estonia, and the rest of the lights is just more Baltic Sea being seen. The lights are just fucking Japanese fishing boats.
They're just fish. It's that dense.
And that's the end of the argument.
Right.
Wow.
Okay. So, I think we've come to a pretty clear consensus about this. But
Yeah.
just one more point. When did Japan start commercially whaling? They've depleted almost the entire fucking surplus of whales in 50 years or something.
I know
Yeah.
they've had to recall the Free Willy franchise.
Yeah, but how quickly just they fucking decimated the whale population. If they were given just this little bit of sea, fucking on you go, boys. There's no fucking fish left.
I know. Fuck the Japs.
Yeah, it's
There's a massive flaw in that logic, and just that sustainability is actually a thing and also not a myth. And if you can't fish sustainably, then there's no fish to fucking eat.
that's a very true point.
So
I've also got one little argument as well.
okay, I can't wait for this.
It's a small one. This is a picture of me.
In Finland.
This is a picture of me
Hopefully not. In Helsinki.
with some Finnish people.
Yeah, but they're fucking Swedish.
That's some Finnish people in.
Where's the beards? Where's the big axe?
And that is in Helsinki.
Lying bastard. That's not. That's at the Thames.
So that's in Helsinki. What's even funnier about it is that I also got the opportunity, because there's a lot of lakes in Finland, is I went on a plane around
That's not a plane.
around the
That's not a plane.
around the area of
Small argument
Finland.
here.
So you can see a lot of like because it's lots of lakes. So I've seen so it was an amazing trip
You just dropped your phone in the fucking pool.
because I went through there. There is a picture of Helsinki in Finland where I flew into.
Eastern Sweden.
Where I flew into.
Did you enjoy Sweden?
And there's some food.
Genie meatballs.
There's some food from
IKEA.
There's some food from the border of Sweden that I crossed from Finland into Sweden because I did a bit of a tour. So it's just a little thing where I went to Finland and travelled up through Finland. I flew around Finland and then went from the border of Finland into Sweden. Where Sweden recognised that Finland was a country itself.
So what's your point here? Are you just as gullible as the rest of them?
Well, Sweden just confirmed that Finland was a country. Because I didn't cross from Russia into Sweden or Estonia into Sweden. I went from Finland into Sweden.
You landed in the Baltic Sea.
Well, no, I was on land. And I'm not a good swimmer.
Okay, let's just assume that Finland exists. Then.
I know you have... Right, okay, carry on.
Let's just assume that Finland exists.
Disagree to disagree then.
I'm basically just lying down and
So
I can't take this any further.
Yeah. So I had a
Right.
I had a good-
General consensus. The internet is full of trolls and morons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is what we're basing this podcast on. Those people with heightened disabilities.
I'm going to make 100% turnaround
Okay.
and fire some weird facts about Finland to you.
Do you not actually have an issue with Australia as well?
Yeah, we do. We'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll get to that.
Have time to get to that.
Well, we do have time. We do have time.
So you're going to accept
We'll make time.
You're going to accept from the information I've given you that I've visited Finland.
I'll give you that, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
I'll give
Finland
you that.
exists.
So,
Honestly.
did you guys know that the Finnish actually rank as number 1 in the world for consumption of milk
No, they
per
don't.
head?
Don't exist.
Oh, fuck. You're a Mongo. So the Finnish actually drink more than 1 litre per day each on average. That's a lot of milk.
I think that should have been used as proof that Finland doesn't exist because no one can drink a beer.
I haven't drank.
Do you know what the funniest thing is?
I haven't drank a litre of milk in the whole year. So I think if you were to add all the bits of
I haven't
milk
drank
I've
milk
had,
since 2008.
yeah, it's because it makes you unwell.
So yeah, on that subject, the funniest part of this fact is that over 17% of the population are lactose intolerant, which means that Finland has the highest lactose intolerance rate as well. As well as the highest consumption of milk, they've got the highest lactose intolerance rate.
What a
Because-
bunch of sadist
Or one of
bastards.
the highest lactose intolerance rates. Sorry. They smash.
Well, maybe it's because it's not. Because it's so much. It's so fucking easy to diagnose because everyone's just mainlining milk all day.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
They also smash the fuck out of their coffee as well. Highest consumption in the world per head as well.
Wow.
I'm guessing they're giving them pretty milky coffees.
I can get that though. It's a fucking cold country.
Yeah.
It's a cold country, and you know what I mean, it's like you know it's a cold country again by looking at the bands.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
lordy.
Well, it's because they all have lots of hair.
No,
To warm up
it's-
their
it's-
bodies.
It's all just like, it's all just dark and grim, or boring.
Yeah, well, that's what the weather's a bit like
Shit.
as well.
How can a country not
I was
have
going to say,
anything?
are you going to say Lodi is dark and grim when it is the most poppy hair metal? It's just the fact that they've got masks on that makes it grim.
It makes everyone
Yeah,
happy.
hard rock. Well, it does not make me happy.
You had a genuine look of disdain
Yeah.
on your face.
It's like
Oh,
it's like the feminist version of Slipknot.
Now that is a
Right.
band I'd like to see.
I wish the
Do you know what I mean?
recall. I wish the recall button wasn't 30 seconds long.
Just 5 Ellen DeGeneres is playing each different instrument. Do you know what I mean? Fucking glorious bowl cuts.
So the average.
Not only do we attack the Japanese, we also attack feminists.
No, no,
And
no.
lesbians.
I'm
Just attack everyone. That's what this podcast is
I'm
about.
not sorry. In my mind, I'm attacking which is a horrible term in
Archetype
itself.
of a...
Yes, the stereotype of a feminist, or the feminazi, which is just like, no, we don't want equal rights. We want segregation, but better.
Heil Hyman.
Soundbite that fucking shit right there.
Okay, so the average Finn smashes through 12 kilos of coffee a year. Rob, your Nokia facts for you here, because you've learned today that Nokia's Finnish.
Yeah.
And finished as well.
And, you've learned it's a telecommunications company and not mobile phone maker.
Not sushi.
Not sushi.
So, Matteo McConaughey introduced text talk in 1984 before the first text was sent from a computer in 1992. Nokia later launched the world's first phone capable of sending texts.
I like that.
Before that went very silent. There's weird as fuck sports in Finland as well, like wife carrying.
Yes, I've watched lots of wife carrying.
Swamp soccer.
I like that.
And rubber boot throwing.
I like that.
Clearly don't know how to stitch up some leather and blow some air into.
This is like the things you do when like your country is dark and cold, and the only thing you can do for fun is fish, but you do that for a living, so you don't want to do that for fun. So what else are you gonna do? You just find the shit around you and just make your own fun.
Just fucking anything.
It's
What am I gonna do? I'm gonna pick up my wife
fishing.
and run a mile. That's sound.
It's exactly the same with like Scottish sports.
Yeah,
Like
tossing the cable.
tossing
That's
the
a bit of weird. What will we do it?
all
We'll chuck it.
But there's only like a couple of things that we make that actually turns out, oh, it's a sport. Like golf. Golf. I mean, did we not make football as well? Was that the Chinese?
No, I think that was definitely UK, but I think it might have been down south.
Oh, it was definitely
Edinburgh.
Stoke-on-Trent.
We've got golf. It might have been Stoke-on-Trent, Ben. It may well have been.
I don't know if has anyone ever been to Stoke-on-Trent.
No.
I have been near it. I've been to like Cleveland. That's kind of near there, isn't it?
It's I don't know, but
Cleveland.
Cleveland, Ohio. Visiting your bird from Ohio that sat on her husband and killed him. Oh, connections.
That stays in life.
Stoke-on-Trent is just a fucking shithole.
When she sat on me, like we both formed into like a Megazord-like creature.
You just have such a strong, powerful neck that you just stand up, holding her up by the vagina.
Bam, 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 bam.
Okay.
Or be the one like,
Hi, hi, hi.
So,
He's
I
turning blue.
I think we've accepted that Finland might exist.
Sorry, James. I can see you trying to grab the reins.
So whether you were hoping it was fake or offended that people are saying it's fake, somebody is likely offended, and that makes me happy. So, without further ado,
are you offended? Yeah.
I know you're going.
Let's just
Fucking
for
triggered me.
5 minutes touch on Australia doesn't exist.
Okay.
How do you feel about that? Any better than Finland? Or?
I feel like
I
I
can-
feel like I might just be really quiet and just let you rabbit on.
Well, I could go on Facebook and get the pictures of when I was in Australia, if that would help.
Okay, we might as well we'll just finish now.
I could probably just go and get like a satellite photo
Yeah.
of Australia.
Do you know who doesn't want to think Australia exists? Like the original,
Australians.
the original settlers of Australia.
The Aboriginals.
Yeah, because that's the thing is like that's something with Australia is like Australia right now is this amazing country. There's money, there's good education.
Margot Robbie.
There's Margot Robbie. The food's meant to be the best in the world right now.
It's not actually there. It's
And
America.
But kangaroos meant to be pretty tough.
well, they don't eat kangaroo. They eat wallaby. But no,
you can make kangaroo quite tender. I think.
It's like cuter they eat the cute kangaroos.
There's this thing, so it's this whole thing. I was like, yeah, Australia's amazing. It's awesome. Loads of people go there just to stay now. and there's this whole thing they're trying to hide is like, yeah, there's, you know, the Aborigines are still alive and they're all drug addicts because of what you've done to them. They're all left to reservations, but it's not like America where they've got a bit of control of it and can make a casino. There's nothing. And they're just, I know.
It's like I remember like a guy I knew when I was younger went away to Australia for like gap year or whatever. And then came back and he was just like, aye, Aboriginals appear like fucking like absolute minks in that, and like total like fucking like reprobates. It wasn't until a few years later that like I thought about it. I was like, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's a real shock to the system when you look at you've got two neighbouring countries, one being it's like louder from there. You've got two you've got two neighbouring countries.
Just throw it. Oh,
You've got two neighbouring countries.
nailed it.
You've got Australia and New Zealand, and you've got the Aborigines, and you've got the Maoris. And the Maoris must look over and go, thank fuck for that. It's like we are included in society, which is nice.
We get to be bouncers.
You get to be bouncers.
We've got a massive gang that tattoo their faces and drive around on bikes, and they don't tell us to stop.
I've drank with a gang. I've drank with a gang a couple of times. It's a good lot.
How can you make me
Mongrel
feel
mob
bad
for
about
life.
my Japanese opinions when you say things like that?
What are they called again?
Mongrel mob.
Mongrel mob, yeah.
The Mongo mob.
They're like, I know.
Not mongrel mob. Mongrel mob.
Mongo.
No, because I
It's just fucking. This is just spiraling.
Yeah, I like it though.
cool. So, do we need to cover the whole?
We should have just ended the episode there. Just that last bit of bees from James. Just the.
Yeah.
But I think we can safely say
Australia exists.
Australia exists.
No.
Well, unless you've got like a couple of like
Yeah.
mind blowing reasons.
I'll go through a couple of very quick, mind-blowing reasons.
Okay.
Okay, so this is from a valid source. It's a Facebooker called Shelley Fluoride. Fluoride up.
Fluoride in the water.
Yeah, that's it. The theory involves the denial of the existence of the sixth largest nation on Earth.
I thought she was just like a flow rider. I was like, wow, that's deep.
Britain
She can ride her bike with no handlebars.
Britain invented the apparent convict colony of Australia as an excuse to execute over 100,000 prisoners. 162,000 to be precise.
I don't think that's disputed.
No, it's not.
Yep. Under the guise of transporting them to this distant land.
So Perth, Australia is named after Perth, Scotland's prison.
Yep.
Because Perth, Scotland's prison was the high security prison in Scotland.
Yeah, but the
How much of a kick in the nuts is that? Like, Perth, Australia is so much better than
I
Perth,
know.
Scotland.
And it was named after our prison.
Yeah.
Not even like, oh, sister city, ooh, like,
I know,
it's
so-
like New York or like,
set the bar so low,
Yeah.
and they fucking overcome us
They've done so. They yeah.
very quickly.
Man.
But no, this
for
argument's saying that it's not a convict colony. They killed everyone. They killed everyone they exported. Or
Where did the whites
extradited.
come from?
The Aboriginals.
Oh no, because it doesn't exist.
the Aboriginals got ill.
What, a turned Caucasian?
So this video goes in to say it's a hoax and everyone is in on it. Airline pilots take tourists to decoy islands and there are actors playing the part of Australians.
You've got some scrawny Maori like clocking into for his day to play a drug adult.
They're flying into Auckland. Or do you think they're
like yes, that fucking Aboriginal like absolute like destitute person you've seen actually lives in a mansion because
they used to fly to New Zealand, but New Zealand got that Lord of the Rings money, so they now fly to like Fiji and Samoa instead. Go to the lesser known as like South Pacific Islands. Yeah, I'm just gonna go into Australia, flying to Samoa. There's a lot of drunk Samoans.
Everything is a plotted lie in documents they are faked. This is continued by the leading governments of the world. What about Australians, you may ask? Well, they are all actors and computer-generated personas. Part of the plot to trick the world. If you think you've ever...
I'm not gonna lie, I used to live with an Australian. He was pretty much a computer-generated persona. Like,
Yeah, there we go.
beige.
Like what? How? Like, what Australian beige? What's Australian?
I mean, in all fairness,
Good day, mate. No shrimp in the bar, mate.
not sure, but yeah, I think to be fair, we were probably assholes, and he just moved into us being really cliquey, and we put upon him lots of our own like hatreds of other people. Made him feel very unwelcome.
How
but
old
he
were
was
you?
definitely a beige asshole.
How old were you?
Beige.
Like 21 or something. Like
It's not bad. It's not so bad.
So, yeah.
I've never had that opportunity to. I lived with some lesbians. They were horrible.
Oh, what a horrible life you've had.
No, they were dickheads. They were just racist. They were.
Actually, I remember you telling me, actually. I remember you telling me.
Yeah,
you're
but I
big
had
fan.
like a sweet beach house though, so it's fine.
So it's
Dried
fine.
my tears there.
just wash your tears away with the
Ocean breeze. Yeah.
So this article continues. If you think you've ever been to Australia, you haven't.
Okay.
Airlines and pilots, as previously discussed, are all in on this, and anyone travelling to Australia is actually taken to islands close nearby, or in some cases parts of South America, where they've cleared space and hired actors to act as real Australians. They pour some sand down and hire rednecks. That's the outback. So,
bogans.
Yeah, some bogans.
finally, last paragraph, and I quote,
Doing an accent.
Australia is one of the biggest hoaxes ever created. That's English, isn't it? We'll keep going. And you've all been tricked. Join the movement today and make it known that they've been deceived. Make it known that this has all just been a cover-up. The things these Australians says to be doing, all these swear words and actions based on alcoholism, MDMA, and bad decisions are all ways to distract you from the ugly truth that is one of the greatest genocides in history. 162,000 people were said to have been transported to this imaginary land during a mere 80 years. They're all long dead.
Irish for a second.
They're all long dead now.
I love that this article is claiming the genocide of these white criminals when there was a genuine genocide of the native people.
Of the native people, yeah.
I just claiming that they didn't even exist in the first place.
Yeah.
Thanks for clearing there.
Yeah. There wasn't any fair trade. Like the neighbouring country was like, you think you might be winning just now? Wait till you get the cold, asshole.
They never reached the promised land. Tell the truth. Stand up for what's right. Make sure to spread the word. Australia is not real.
Was that Devon?
It's very varied. Right, I'm done. Thoughts on that argument, guys? I'm guessing.
Pretty believable, to be honest. Like,
Yeah, thanks, Bert. What about Finland? Is Finland real?
nah, Finland's definitely real, but Australia, I've always questioned Australia's.
Yeah.
Sorry, crisps.
It sounds crispy.
Yeah, do you know what? I believe it.
Yeah.
I think the Aborigines have just made it up.
So I've done my job then.
Just made it up for a bit of attention. Oh, we've been robbed of a world. Whatever.
Oh, reeks of our ancestors were fucking murdered and killed through like common cold and all this like unknown diseases and shit. Yeah.
Aboriginal burial ground.
Woe is me.
Oh, we've all been wiped out and we're all living on drugs now.
But it's not. It was the whites. The whites were all wiped out.
I know.
Oh, our culture, our ancestry gone. Oh, yeah.
Unreal. If you're not happy with it, get off the island.
Yeah. Okay.
When you go to New Zealand, live with the Maoris.
I don't want them either. Complain, eh?
You'll end up with a couple of
Whingy
lesbians.
bastards.
They don't lack the brah-ness. Brah.
Right.
Did you know that, completely going back on my statement that Australia doesn't exist, Australians have the same thing about New Zealand people, that like they shag sheep as
English to Scotland.
yeah, unlike odd Scottish do for Welsh.
It's just a
Like-
shitty argument.
And then
just resort
and then
to.
New Zealand are like, yeah, Australia shag sheep. I wonder where this started.
Someone shagged a sheep
Yeah, someone definitely
and got caught, and
it's
it's just fucking escalated for there.
But can you
Shag a sheep.
can you all see on the count of three the country in the UK that definitely shagged a sheep? 1, 2, 3. Wales.
England.
You won England.
Um,
Because I thought England would be 1, 2, 3. Who shagged the granny?
Well, England.
England. But there's different versions. So like,
it depends where you are in England.
the further south definitely pumped the granny. But if you get to like Newcastle, gave her a wee kiss on the cheek.
You had your hand up when you said south. South is like London.
What?
Yeah,
I don't know directions, mate.
You did.
And I'm now like 4 beers in.
Yeah, it's not going to get any better. Okay, yeah, let's.
Is that a proper end?
Let's round this off, boys. I'll give it to one of you. You can battle between you.
What? But who wants to close it off?
Yeah.
None of us have prepared anything.
Oh, well, so thank you so much, guys, for joining us on this.
Cheerio, Campbell, steel beams. Good night.
Edit point.
Yeah.
Right. Cheers, guys. Thanks for maybe listening. Yeah, thanks for investing your time.
Goodbye.
And, that's it.
Goodbye.
Thanks.
Goodbye. Bye-bye. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Don't follow me on social media because I'm anti-social and I fucking hate it.
Aboriginal.
I only have Instagram to look at girls. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
James is Germany, so it's actually no joke. He just fucking hates
Boris Johnson describing women who wear burqas as looking like letterboxes and bank robbers.
We'll begin immediate construction of a border wall.
Jet fuel can't melt steel beams.
Thanks for coming. Welcome to the White House.
Over.